started. I am gonna share the PowerPoint because on agenda item 5, I need some action happening.
Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the September 9th meeting of the Clark County Public Art Committee. We're going to start off with agenda item number 1, which is our call to order and roll call. Jeff Fulmer present, member Heather Harmon present in person. We have Mary Sabo online. We have Alexa Chen online, Ken Ruffin online, and hopefully a little bit of Jerry Shefzik online as well. And Jerry, if you're having trouble with your audio, perhaps you can participate in the chat feature. Agenda item number 2 is public comment. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about items on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on those agenda items. If we do have anyone from the general public, if they can let us know now, and we can move forward with that.
We do have one. You would have to raise your hand in order to speak, and it would just be agenda items. Seeing no raised hand, we're going to go ahead.
Great. So moving on to agenda item number 3, this is the approval of the agenda for today's meeting, September 9th, 2025, for possible action. I know the committee received the agenda in advance. It's had a chance to review that. So if we can get a motion and a second.
That's where I request for a change. Can we please strike item number 5 from the listing? The item's a little bit misleading, and staff were prepared to have a conversation with you all through the staff report, not as an individual item.
Okay. So we'll strike agenda item number 5. As long as the committee is okay with that, we can get a motion and a second on the amended agenda.
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Thank you, Heather.
I will second that.
Is that Mary?
I think that was Alexia.
Alexia.
Great, thank you, Alexia. So all those in favor, say aye or raise hands or
Aye.
whatever.
Aye.
That's everybody. Agenda item number 4 then is approval of minutes from our August 12th, 2025 meeting. I believe those were all shared electronically with the committee as well. Again, if I can get a motion and a second.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Heather.
I second.
Thank you, Ken. Ken seconds. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? I think that's mostly everybody anyway. Okay, so skipping over that agenda item number 5, moving to agenda item number 6. This is the report by staff regarding monthly summary of activities. And just a reminder to the committee, it's not an action item.
Great, thank you. So obviously, I'd probably like to start off the conversation about having this discussion about sponsorship. And I believe, Sarah, you did want to introduce yourself at this time.
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm the district attorney that represents Parks and Rec.
Great. So I just wanted to go over, over the summer, we had a couple times that committee members had asked to put on the agenda a conversation about sponsorship. As you know, we had some disconnect. Me and Alfredo couldn't connect over the summertime. We did recently talk, but he didn't provide me a list or details of who those individuals were. And then I was able to had a chance to kind of go through our past agendas. And what I found, and I would, you know, like as people get some time to take a look at, is back in September 14th of 2021, agenda item number 6, there was a discussion from this committee the month prior about funding and doing a sponsorship to UNLV for their land art discussion that they have annually out at Michael Heisner's Double Negative, and they tend to do like bring in lots of professors and have a couple-day conversation. At that time, county had chimed in and said, no, you know, sponsorships are not for this type of funding. Clark County does provide grants and other opportunities through other departments, and that is just not something that they wanted to represent. With saying that, however, you know, the conversation is we need to know, you know, details on the particular people that are asking, because if it is something that we can support as a department and it does align with public art and specifically enhance our programming, then that's maybe a different story. And so you'll even see today that's on the agenda item, we have where we do want to fund potentially artists maybe going to a metal program so that they can build up their skills and they can provide us better sculptures. Or we have where, because Full Scope is online, we're looking at doing a partnership with UNLV and maybe bringing in an artist who is heavy in the public art realm, and we can get them here with the help of UNLV, but it also supports our program and it is open to all of our artists to be able to attend.
So the principles are mission alignment and full transparency.
Yeah.
So things that align with the committee's mission and transparency around any of the relationship structures as they relate to the funding request.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better.
And I think that seems completely reasonable and would be something that when the committee got down to it, we would make those decisions based upon those elements. Looking back, you know, at the agenda item that we struck, it does say discussion of Clark County projects that lost funding from the National Endowment for the Arts. So I'm not sure exactly what projects Alfredo was talking about, what Clark County specific projects, if it's a county project that lost funding.
Yes, so I apologize. That agenda item is very misleading because I think it kind of sounds like Clark County ourselves lost NEA funding, and we have not gone out for any type of funding. Clark County is funded by hotel room taxes and a little bit of ad valorem taxes, which are capital improvement funding. And we have at this time been fortunate not to have to seek out additional grants from the NEA. So yeah, the agenda item was so misleading, we did have to strike that.
So it essentially would be unrelated to the work of the commission, discussion of projects located within Clark County.
Right.
Or maybe Clark County residents who have lost their
Yes,
funding.
and with that too, we need more information, maybe a proposal or something more to discuss
Understand.
and put on an agenda item than it to be so vague, right?
Okay,
Um,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Any questions from the rest of the committee online? Or comments? I'm not seeing any, so if we don't have anything in the chat there, maybe we can just keep moving on with the reports.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, I think I'm pulling up this one, but it is showing us this one here. We are going to jump around a little bit because we have so much to get through and we've been kind of shortchanging our projects. So we are going to do a little jumpy jump, really move galleries down, Stephanie, but let's talk about open call though.
Right now, we have an open call for our gallery at the Winchester Dondero Cultural Center. It is called Life and Death, and it will be the 24th Annual Life and Death Festival, celebrating Day of the Dead. Not only are we looking for artists, we're doing a call for other crafts that Winchester is asking for. I would inquire with Winchester to see if they need any instructors, etc.
This is the original one in the Valley, right? Everybody copies our
Yeah.
Life and Death, yeah.
Yeah.
It is the OG one.
Yes.
Okay. Let's give it a second to load up. Okay, so on our public art projects, we have currently funded 19 projects, and then we have those additional 2 carryover projects. Those 2 projects, this will be the last time you see them, and then they will go on the completed list. So first up is Family Courthouse. So we did a dedication August 20th at the Family Courthouse with the 3 artists. It was a wonderful event. Everyone really loved the mural. And the one thing that, you know, the artists chimed in on is this courthouse sees a lot of pain, but they also see some good stuff too. So this is where we're hoping will, as they adopt their children, have a special place to photograph that family.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that family edition. It's also, this courtyard is served for a visitation site for youth that, you know, may not be able to see their loved one privately and in person. So this is their way to see their loved one in person, but supervised. So the artist did say that the kids really enjoyed seeing them paint, because they did paint on the weekends too. And there was a lot of excitement from the children to see lots of different colors and see working artists there and involved with their lives.
Last Thursday, we had the dedication for the short documentary Unsung by Zachary Freed, and it's a short documentary about the mural process at the Pearson Community Center, where Mike Norris, an LA-based artist, painted 21 concrete pillars inside of the center. And Zachary also covers the history in the historic West Side, and follows Mike on his journey on finding the history to create these inspiring murals. We have collaborated with Clay T. White, as well as Gwen Walker of the Walker African American Museum. We had about 159 attendees last Thursday for the film. And hopefully we'll get to show it again, because we believe that history should be shared everywhere across the Las Vegas Valley and not just the historic West Side.
And then I wanted to thank too, and I'm sorry, for the courthouse, Jeff Fulmer was in attendance, and thank you for being there. And for the dedication, Jeff Fulmer and Ken Ruffin was able to be there. For Unsung, they were able to be there, and we greatly appreciate that. And we want to go for awards for this artwork, right? So with Mike Norris and his Pillar Project, and then all of the wonderful historians and artists included. So if committee members see things pop in your feed or pop into your inbox about awards, please get it to staff so we can work on those. We've identified some, but I'm sure there are others that we have no clue about. Yeah.
We also added an education component for the murals, considering that the timeline is a representation of Black contributions in the historic West Side. We made a map stating which each pillar means or represents.
Yeah, so that poster is available too. If people have spaces where they want to support this project and place up that timeline poster, we'd greatly appreciate it. We would get you the printed copies and anything you need. So if you need it, I don't know. If you need it framed, we'll frame it. We'll do what we can to get it out in our community and get it supported.
And it's also online, so if you scan the QR code on the poster, you can find an expanded version of each pillar, as well as the full documentary. It's on YouTube.
And then I think we're working towards our next art reception to play it at Winchester as well. So if you haven't had an opportunity to see it in a theater setting, that could be an opportunity. Come see Full On Fantasy and then also watch Doc.
It's a great documentary. It was a wonderful evening, and I encourage our committee to come out to these events and engage with the public and the program.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Currently, Dog Island is on display at Bob Price Park. And then football benches are on display at Canyon School Park and Reed Marketplace Park. They'll be on display until October 1st, 2025.
For the Stadium District mural, I think we are still waiting for the commissioner to locate the theme for America 250. And we also need to take it to long range planning still.
Eileen, it seems like you have maybe two microphones on. There's like a bad reverb.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. For Stadium District mural, we are still waiting for our America 250 theme to be approved. And once that is approved, we will take it to long range planning to get approvals as well. For ZAP 18 Searchlight, now that summer is behind us, we are convening again with our jurors. We will be contacting them in the next few days to get another jury meeting together and refresh ourselves on the project so we can get ZAP 18 open and going.
Juvenile Justice Service mural, we have another project meeting with the construction crew, I think at the end of this week. And so we're hoping to have some more details, but it looks like, hopefully in the next couple of months, they'll start building that building, and then we can start addressing the call to artists. We have been taking a really long time with our calls, just having some struggles with jury members' timelines or timeframes around these. So I would much rather kind of get it started as soon as possible. So if we have those delays, we're not the ones delaying on a holdup for a dedication. Walnut Recreation Center, we actually had our last evaluator evaluated last night. And so we have now identified top 3. And so Homero is working towards contacting those artists and making them vendors so that they can start putting together a proposal. From what I understand, those 3 finalists are all from out of town. So it'll be interesting to see. And we'll start setting up that timeline of when those presentations are and kind of how that setup goes for this one. Hollywood Recreation mural. So Eric Fizzolo is going to start painting here pretty soon. He did need to do a couple redesign things. We had some mistypos on the measurement of the wall, and I had made the wall larger than it really was. So that's a good thing that I'm not taking money from the artists, but it did also make him have to revise some of his mural, and it means that we're probably paying a little bit more per square foot than we wanted to. But great piece. I think his timeline was like I want to say it was like a 2 month. So he's given a long time to paint that. But I expect this fall we'll be doing a dedication with song builders. They'll be singing the song, and we're really going to try to push out social media, the song and this design as he's working.
For ZAP 19, we just had our jury meeting on the 2nd of September. The goals and timelines were all approved by our jurors. Our call will be opening in the next couple of days with the deadline of October 16. I will also be hosting an application workshop a week before deadline.
With Southwest Ridge Bicycle Skills Park, while we did submit the bid paperwork back in late July, we end up, our priority has kind of shifted to Legacy Trail. That project is well on its way, while the construction of the bike park is not. So we're kind of putting this on hold for a minute while we wrap our mind around Legacy Trail. And Desert Breeze Special Events Area. So permitting required the original engineer to come on board. I have submitted his PR, and with budgets the way it was, we were exceeding our original budget, which does mean that we have to go back out to the Board of County Commission and find extra funding to finish up this project. But we don't know at this point how much that's going to be with construction. So our department has helped us out, and through the Parks and Rec donation funding, we are funding this original engineer PR for $2,500. And Red Rock Legacy Trail cyclist sculpture. So we have identified all of our evaluators at this point. The location of the sculpture is being identified. So we're having discussions with Public Works and the Commissioner's office to identify what's the best plot in that small parking lot. I think we've identified one. We just got to get confirmation in the next week. And it was really great for staff to be able to connect with the Public Works staff. They are interested in what we're doing and willing to help, which is always a good thing. And Sunset Signature Art Piece, I actually held a meeting in this room yesterday with the 3 finalists. We have not finalized their contract, but next meeting we can announce that. But there are 3 artists. They are working towards their presentations or design presentations, which will be on October 20th in this room at 2 p.m. It's open to the public, and you're more than welcome to see what they're proposing. Their designs will be actually displayed out in the front room of Sunset Admin for the week before the presentation. And then their presentation consists of 10 minutes where they're going to pitch their design. And then there's 10 minutes of Q&A. That Q&A is only between the evaluators and the artists. Everyone else is observing the process.
For the Wetlands Monument, I will be having a meeting with our artist Luis Varela Rico to discuss our milestone 1 and milestone 2 goals. He is currently waiting for his drawings to be stamped by engineers. His permits are in, so he will begin fabrication as soon as our meeting ends tomorrow. For ZAP 20, we had our jury meeting on the 4th, which was last week. Goals and timelines were both approved. Our call will be opening sometime this month, hopefully in the next couple of days as well, with the same deadline as ZAP 19 of October 16, 2025.
That slide has Mary as the evaluator. I think I was serving as the evaluator on that one.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yep. I think she did 19.
She's doing 19, yes.
Nikki, I saw CF for 19.
Yes. Can I just go back up to the top and thank you all for letting us jump around a little bit. So our county poet laureate, Ashley Miss A.B. Vargas, is killing it as usual. This is a listing of all of her events that she's done in the last 2 months, including a trip down to up to Flagstaff to their library district. We are down a art coordinator, and we got an overwhelming number of applicants. So we are identifying those top tier applicants to move on to interviews and hoping to get somebody in this position rapidly. As far as poetry programming goes, we are funding Miss Avey to do an open mic. So at the Las Vegas Book Festival, they according to Miss Avey, she doesn't believe that they've ever done an open mic session during the book festival. So we are going to pay her a little bit extra. I think it's above and over what she does as poet laureate, but it is a endeavor that is going to highlight our local poets and expose them to the rest of the people that are participating at that festival. And so I think it's a great opportunity. More will be coming out closer to the event, and we'll try to do a social media campaign to get our local poets aware of this event and focused on or being prepared for the open mic session. Also with our help of our former poet coordinator, Jesus, he identified Chelsea Guevara from Arizona. And so she is going to unveil our Inkwell poetry program. So Inkwell is similar to Full Scope in providing a professional workshop for our local artists or local poets, and to get a better understanding of how to become a professional poet in the community, in our country, in our nation, so on and so forth. So that should be very cool.
For Full Scope for this month, we have the Burning Man crew, Caroline Cam, Rick Martinez, Lena Alani, and Nancy Foster. All 4 of these artists were participants in the recently Burning Man Festival. And that'll be, as usual, on WebEx on Tuesday, September 16 at 3 p.m.
And then before we jump ahead, Eileen, because it's not listed here, do you want to talk about those couple other things we're working on?
Oh, as far as the internships, we have an internship. Well, hopefully we will be having an internship opportunity for our local artists. There is a metal shaping festival happening in November that we would like to have 3 spots for local artists who are interested. We will be paying their fees to be part of that festival where they will be learning how to bend metal.
And then we're also working on trying to do another bus tour this time to, I believe it's Scottsdale, Arizona, where it's the Canal of Convergence. It's a temporary public art that lasts over 2 weekends. And we just think it's a great idea to kind of bus in our public artists to be able to have that opportunity to see some other work that is near our community, and also, for staff as well, we get the opportunity to see how one of those festival works and all that fun stuff.
Have we ever considered doing that with Desert X?
We did that. We took.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we
Great.
took everyone. It was very quick turnaround, but in May, Stephanie and Gio went with them. It was a very long bus drive. We charged $5 only to have that commitment, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
In fact, this program can't, we don't really have a way to accept funding.
Yeah.
And so that funding actually went to Winchester.
That's
It's a
great.
donation. So yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so we want to do more of those tours, maybe identify some other opportunities, some other areas where we can do the same thing. We have reached out to AAA to go to Michael Heisner's, so we're trying to figure out that one. And then, the other one is our Lamond. They have a studio, they said, where they're building art in Oakland. So that would be a very easy trip to get people out there to see them. We're trying to avoid booking rooms and all of that fun stuff, but we're trying to do what we can to give our artists that experience.
We could also always organize a LACMA trip.
Yes, that would be very cool.
I know we ran into that with AAA because generally we have a grant where we try to take care of government employees, Nevada students, and educators too.
Yep, that's perfect.
So
Yeah,
we usually try to support free admission in those circumstances.
nice, very cool. Well, yeah.
Yes,
we'll do
thank you.
that. Yeah, right, exactly.
Thank our funder.
Yeah,
Yeah, right? Awesome. So lots of fun educational things rapidly coming up. All of those things are in November. So we're planning for a very busy November if we can pull it all off.
For the youth education temporary public art projects, we have a workshop this Saturday at the museum in Clark County Museum at 1 to 3, held by Nick Denson, who's one of our 4 artists for the fall. He is leading a family-oriented workshop with origami and assemblage. We had a workshop scheduled for today that has been rescheduled for the 23rd with Chad Scott. And then our workshop for the 20th has been canceled. So those are the only changes from the slide. But we have a lot of workshops scheduled for September and October for our temporary public art projects. So they're coming up. They're happening.
We had a shout out on our Instagram for our new solo series artists. Holly Hamilton, Jerissa Pratt, Corey Harper, I can't see that last name. Denise Mayung. Our first artist is Holly Hamilton, and she's exhibiting till October 23rd, and she's doing a step-by-step painting workshop soon. It's not on there yet. But she'll have a reception on October 23rd, and then following her will be Jerissa Pratt, our next artist. Last week we had a reception for Plantasia. There was about 75 attendees, and I believe they did a plant swap. Same week, we installed My Immigrant Family, juried by Mariana Martinez. Sorry, her whole name is not on there. Her name is Mariana Martinez, and she was the 2024 winner of the art exhibition that the Mexican consulate organizes. And My Immigrant Family is from the Mexican consulate as well. We will have a reception on September 17th from 6 to 8 at the Clark County Government Center. And the show should end on September 26th.
So this exhibit was a partnership with City of Las Vegas. They actually ran the call for it. And it is supported by our commissioners, Ted Sagerbloom and Commissioner McCurdy. So they will, I'm assuming, be in attendance at that reception on the 17th, as well as the Mexican consulate. And while it really wasn't the Arts Plans exhibit, I think that they're kind of carrying on that torch of doing awards for the event. It should be a great celebration.
At Winchester, we have a reception coming up on the 25th of this month, Full On Fantasy, juried by Sarah Jean Odom. This show is a really fun one. It's inspired by fantasy-like creatures such as dragons, witches, and anyone who's a fan of Dungeons and Dragons. At the Wetlands Gallery, they just had an exhibit on the 6th. They had 80 attendees. The juror for In the Company of Animals was Sean Russell. As far as our marketing, we're doing all right. As for Facebook, we kind of stay a little bit stagnant. We only gain 10 followers within the month. On Instagram, we seem to be very busy. Almost every day we have a follower or a like or some sort of interaction. From August to September, we had a ton of views at 106,000 with about almost 4,000 interactions. As far as marketing requests, Mustafa worked on a lot. It doesn't seem like that big of a number, but the work is very dense to create all of these promotional materials, such as our flyers and interaction posts. For Double Scoop, we have a contract with them every other month, so I'll get numbers for all of September and October. And as far as our newsletters, we have two of them, one for public art events, one for calls. We haven't had a bunch of calls, so we're just waiting for those to come out. We should have one for Black History Month. As far as our newsletter, people are interacting with events such as Plantasia, the new Le Monde art, temporary play art, and Unsung.
Great, so conservation, we have 8 projects that we're working on right now. Home Arrow's taken some of those projects, and Brett's still working towards conservation, and apparently I'm on some of them too. So ZAP monthly maintenance, we did get our first invoice from our new company, the people that won the bid, and so we're gathering up and trying to identify, looking at a new vendor and how they're invoicing and how they're processing. So they sent us a 74-page invoice, basically assigning and showing us every box that they touched, walked by, everything. So Brett is working with them to try to better understand that invoicing, and we did just get it today. It was roughly about $5,000. So we spent $5,000 out of the $95,000 for the year. With Campley bathroom mural, we decided to move this over to conservation because there was a mural previous, and so just instead of rehabbing that mural, we're going to replace that mural with something completely new. And so we thought it would be better to put it in conservation. Right now, we are waiting for our good friends at Forestry to do their approvals of us painting on those historic buildings. Typically, what I've been told is when it's inside, it is less fussy. But the reality is Forestry is a federal agency, and they are down a lot of staff. So I have been told that there is another pending email that has been sitting there for about 4 months. So we will wait and we will see how long it takes for this mural to happen. But the artist that lives out in on the mountain and has agreed to do the work understands that. She understands forestry very well, so she lives there, and I have no doubt her and the staff at camps will champion it and hopefully push the needle forward so we can get it funded in this fiscal year. There isn't any movement for REACH. Day of the Dead mosaic mural. So as you can see down at the bottom, there is a little area that of a mosaic mural that Sierra Slentz had originally completed. I'm suspecting that because of all of the work that happened in the theater, and keep in mind it happened twice, all of the work at the theater happened, and a lot of concrete being removed from that theater, I think it shook this mosaic off. Sierra's done many of these projects for us at Winchester, and we have not seen such a damage like this. And so I can only attest that I think her quality of work is great. But we would like to try to get it fixed. We did go out, we reached out to her. She is unable at this time to do it. And so we reached out to another vendor who gave us a quote that was unreasonable. So we are still on the hunt for a mosaic artist. I think we have one in line that we're going to reach out to, but if anyone has some other people in mind, please send them our way, or at least send us their contacts.
So is this one for a new mural, or is it to repair and?
It's the repair. So it's a Day of the Dead themed mural, and what you see down below was it was people's art, right?
Right.
So she had tiles sitting there that people could press or write
So
on.
nice.
Yeah.
What was the part that fell off salvaged? Or
No,
Okay.
no, they were pretty busted up. So it's mostly the thought was we could hire an artist to have a booth out at Day of the Dead, November 1st, 2nd, and to create
Similar
new,
process.
but similar tiles to replace that area. But we were quoted, I want to say roughly $3,000 per square foot, which is pretty unreasonable. So we will be moving on from that artist. Aku Aku interpretive sign, we're finally making some headway on this project. And so we are creating a purchase order for Nevada Conservation and allowed them to really do the research and do the interpretive sign, let them do what they do best. And then we've had RPM take a look at our quote coming in from a general contractor. That portion sitting around $15,000. They've confirmed that that's a pretty solid number. I think our last question is the quality of the sign, what is the standard for Clark County? So we are reaching out to our friends at Wetlands. They deal with graffiti and vandalism and signage like this quite a bit. And so we are trying to find out what their standard is so we can place that. So it might bump up a little bit, but we want the quality. We want something that we can celebrate these public art sculptures that are a hidden gem for our community. Desert Diamonds concrete work. So originally Desert Diamonds, as we were building that sculpture, or as we were building the park, in fact, the plans were to have concrete all the way up to the sculpture. And that's why when you see that sculpture, and I'm sorry, there's no picture here, but when you see that sculpture, it actually has skate stops that are built into the concrete pad. And then through the course of construction, somebody got a bright idea. Let's highlight the artwork by putting rocks around it. And but no one told us, so we still had skate stops, right? But the issue has become is youth are riding their motorized bikes through that area. They're stirring up a lot of these rocks. They're getting all over the pavement. They are taking rocks and vandalizing certain things. They're vandalizing the sculpture, vandalizing the lights. And so it's just a necessity for us to get those removed. So we did get a quote back from Real Property Management. They contacted their vendor and we'll put in a PO. That one is also roughly around $15,000 to remove that rock and put in concrete, I think, which is going to enhance that sculpture quite a bit. We also have some electrical repair. As I said, the children are smashing in those lights. We did go with like a very small light. Real property management has always said, don't install uplighting. And us in public art says uplighting is so nice for sculpture, we want uplighting. So these are the downsides to it and the choices we made. So what we have required of the artists is to do a very small uplighting. I think the width of it, the diameter is only like 1 inch or 1.5 inches. But unfortunately, we do have some large rocks sitting off to the side of this. And then we also have kids with baseball bats. So I think we're going to look at maybe trying to put a metal guard on top of them to see if we can solve it that way. But we just keep on trucking. The sculpture looks fabulous. So they're not touching the sculpture. And the sculpture's made out of steel. So it's withholding all of the vandalism. All right, and then we have community engagement. Right now we have 13 funded projects, and then another 2 that it was in FY 25 that are carryovers.
Trash can art, there's not much movement with this one. It just needs to go to long range planning.
America 250 history utility boxes. I did manage to get that grant submitted. I did check it earlier this week, and there's been no movement on submittable. But this would be a project if we get the grant funding to identify historical corners within our community, both in rural and urban areas, and put historical images and kind of a history lesson on those utility boxes. And kind of really bring in that America 250 theme. Helen Meyer Empowerment Art is another one of those projects where we hire digital artists to put artwork in the bathrooms. They work with the youth and they talk about, what empowers children, what are they, what makes them smile, and then they create artwork based off of that. Then we hire a vinyl company to install. This is another one of those projects where we did do a direct hire. So the artist for here had applied for the Walnut one, and so it was just so close, we just ended up selecting an additional person. Sorry about the missing info. As we were, our PowerPoint is on SharePoint, and I think we're just having some connectivity issues today. So as things were getting changed, we were struggling. So we will get you an updated throughout the week. Probably by Thursday, we'll send out an updated PowerPoint.
Zach Harmon and Jones, I believe this one is already completed. We have done marketing on the completed boxes as well. We touched base with the commissioner, and we did an interview with artist Juan Nunes. So if you'd like to see that interview, it will be on our Clark County Public Arts social media accounts. For the Spring Mountain Youth Camp Empowerment Art, we have decided to do a direct select on both of these projects. We have a 2-part project for this one. Our first project is to do community engagements with the youth of the camp. And then the artist will be designing a digital art that will go above each of the 5 cabins that the youth resides in. And then the second parts of this project will be a digital design created by an artist to be installed on 3 sides of the Connex box that you see on the above photo. This Connex box is located within the football field inside the Spring Mountain Youth Camp Empowerment. So far on the progress, we do have our first digital artist already being contracted. Our second one, we are still finalizing their contract and will be reaching out to them in the next few days.
And then, as I talked about, this one is moving to conservation.
With the Walnut Empowerment Art, currently we have received the digital design that our artist Beth has submitted. It is going through approvals right now. There were a couple of things that we had asked to have edited, so we are waiting for her resubmission for her design proposals. And once those are approved, we will move forward to working with the vinyl company to have it printed and installed.
With MLK Family Services visitation area, so I met back with Family Services this week. We did have a staff member from Melvin Ennis Community Center go over to Child Haven and create a few works of art with those children, and I do have those in my possession. But Family Services kind of wanted to switch gears on that portion of the project. They saw the artwork that was completed. It wasn't quite the construction paper portraits as you see here. It was more kind of like drawings and a little bit of collage. But they want to move forward with, in December, they're having a large event where they will have and be engaging in with a lot of foster care children. And so the staff at Family Services will take on that portion of like the portraits, probably base it off more like doing flowers and kind of sky themed. So that's what they want in the waiting room to get into the visitation room. And then the visitation room, the Parks and Rec Department assigned Walnut Community Center to take on the task of creating that paper art installation on the ceiling of this room. And then looking at whatever other enhancements that need to happen. So as far as the arts, Public Arts Office is involvement is we will be funding the supply cost of those things and then the framing of that artwork and then the professional install of that artwork utilizing staff. So this project is actually on hold. I'm sorry we're missing the details on this, but the Connex box hasn't been moved to Parkdale, and comprehensive planning really has to chime in and identify where that location is before we're going to move on funding or painting an area that who knows could not be visible from the public. So we're waiting on this project. As I said before, this is a previously funded project. We're just trying to wrap up, and we have identified on September 25th that is when we're going to do a dedication event, and we will get out those invites or e-bites as soon as we can.
The Firehouse utility box was completed last month. The grand opening for the firehouse was on August 15th. The artist was invited to meet with Commissioner Jones the following week to receive a certificate of appreciation. So now this project is completed, and this will be the last time it's on the list.
Then Visions of the Past, we just wanted to recognize all the artists that are contributing to this this partnership between the Clark County Museum and the Public Arts Office and City of Henderson Whitney Ranch children. So we have all the artists listed there. I am terrible with last names. Stephanie, can you help me out?
Congratulations to Sapira Chip, Heidi Kaye, Catherine Calibio, Calibio, David Lampel, Stasia Fisher, and Jamie Sabella.
So that work is on display now. The county museum is free, and we do have a closing reception on October 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. Additionally, should be coming out in the news this week, the Clark County Museum is attempting to secure the Howard Hughes House, and so they'll be doing a very big press release. They need a lot of funding to get that house moved from, I want to say, Channel 8. It's at one of the stations, and they're going to physically pick it up and move it to the county museum. So if you go, there is signage of where that new home would be, and yeah.
That's cool.
Very fun, yeah. And then these two projects are for a later time. And I did want, sorry, Alexia, it didn't make it on our slides. But hot mess today. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're not.
However, we did want to talk about the Spring Valley Economic Development Project. And so this isn't really a project for us. We're not utilizing any of our funding. District F hired on Paco Alvarez and his company to go through Spring Mountain and identify places that are going to be great for public art. So he's kind of putting together like a public art master plan. Simultaneously, you have Dr. Fielden and his company, and was the architect that is on that economic development project. And so Dr. Fielden is also kind of doing the same similar exercise. Additionally, with Paco and his company and Gear Durham, is they are connecting with business owners in that area, and Clark County is doing a 50-50. So if the owner agrees to pay for half of the mural, Clark County pays for the other half, and then that community gets a great mural. It will be anti-graffitied, and we will provide to that owner anti-graffiti remover items so that they can remove graffiti when it happens quickly. And then it's all over, you know, a bigger scope is when economic development comes in, is there's a large scope for public works, and what does that landscape look in the next 10, 20 years. And I know they're even talking to NDOT about, you know, what does the public art look there when you get off at Spring Mountain, and can it enhance what everything is happening? So yeah, it's an exciting program. Basically, we're kind of on the outside looking in, although we have helped them with contracting and some of the kind of, you know, discussions about public art. We did have up last month where there was possibility of the arts plan funding half of one of those murals because it was at a firehouse. But since then, it's gone on hold. Believing maybe there's some sponsorship on Alvarez's side that might be able to contribute to that mural, and that and that we get still a mural, but we don't have to fund it, right? So yeah, it's very cool. I do know that they have a website. You can log, or you can find it. There has been some news stories. Gear just painted an amazing piece in that area, and so he did get some coverage from Fox 5. So I encourage you all to take a look.
Thanks for the update.
At the end of the report?
It is.
Okay. I have so many projects going on. Any questions from the committee regarding the report from staff? So much. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 7. This is an opportunity to identify emerging issues by the committee for future meetings. Does anyone have any emerging issues that they would like to bring forward? Seeing none there, we'll move on to agenda item number 8. This is a second period for comments by the general public, and this period devoted to comments by the general public about matters relevant to the art committee board council's jurisdiction. Do we have any committee members or anyone from the general public that would like to comment? You could raise your hand now.
I think Jerry can finally talk too.
Oh, there's a hand. It's like, oh, Jerry.
Hey,
Hi, Jerry.
sincerely apologize. I tried for 15 minutes to try to connect, but nothing was happening with my computer. So I don't know if it was computer or operator error, but anyway, I was listening. It's quite the meeting. So anyway, I apologize for not being able to get in.
No problem. It was fun stepping up.
Well, you're not lacking in experience.
Since you're here, do you want to take over with agenda item number 9?
What's this? Hold on. Okay, I can do that. If we're ready for agenda item 9, next meeting will be Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 at 3:30 p.m.
And it's a huzzah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Number 10.
Number 10, we stand adjourned. Thank you very much for your participation and for all the information that you've shared with us. So we are adjourned till our next meeting, October 14th.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
So much stuff. Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you. Mm-hmm.